Okay. Hi. I am American Social Democracy, and I am testing StreamYards to see how effective it is. Hopefully, once this video session, call it a test, but once this little video session is over, hopefully I will master the art of streaming other videos and hopefully even getting guests on this program. So call this, if successful, call this the next step in in my YouTube channel journey, whereby I can go and actually, make it a more serious news channel. Not that it wasn't serious previously, but that's what I'm trying to do. And as I said, I hope that this will help enhance and increase your interest in my content and hopefully grow, and here's your chance. If you haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe to my channel and hit that notification bell so you get hard hitting social democratic commentary by yours truly. I am American Social Democracy. Now, if you don't know who Mark Levin is, he is a commentator on a talk radio show host. He served in the Reagan administration under Ed Meese, Attorney General Ed Meese, and after the Reagan administration, he ended up working as a corporate attorney and ended up as a radio talk show host. He is one of the most obnoxious partisan hacks out there. As I said before, with all the faults that I have against Rush Limbaugh, the late Rush Limbaugh, and Sean Hannity, and people like that, and they had many faults. Um, they never illustrated the sheer hateful nature of this prick. This guy is the most rude individual. Um, Not very bright, but he acts like he's the most bright person around, like the brightest person around. He is not bright at all. There's never been a war that he was opposed to. There's never been a policy of corporatism that he thought was too vicious or cruel. This guy basically is Ben Shapiro. Once Ben Shapiro is 70 years old, screaming at the neighbors, "Get off my lawn!" That's the kind of person he is. And he is absolutely just an awful individual. And he thinks that the Republican Party of today is too much like the Republican Party of the 1950s. Well, I'll let you listen to the diarrhea that's on Fox News. And I like to refer to this diarrhea as as Mark Levin. Hold tight. Go ahead and play. All right. Well, we're trying to play it. Hold on. Let's go ahead and try it now.
Welcome back. While the media is busy celebrating those Texas Democrats who are fleeing their responsibilities, the president and his handlers are hard at work, using this stunt to push their national agenda. The For the People Act, also known as H.R. 1, a bill that would rewrite election laws nationwide, ensuring that Democrats always win. They're doing this right out in the open, just like our last guest who said, "I don't believe in voter ID," completely unchecked. So where are the Republican leaders who are elected to stop them? What are they up
to? Today, we face a threat America has never seen before. A former president who provoked a violent attack on this Capitol in an effort to steal the election.
Why didn't the president call the guard? Where was Kevin? What conversations did Kevin have? What members were involved? If you're not vaccinated.
Hold on. Let me get it to where it needs to go.
Smash new book, American Marxism, out today. You can get it today, and you should if they still have them, because I know he's had mountains of pre-orders. Mark, congratulations on the book. We're going to get to that in a moment because it's more than a book, it's a movement, and you've talked about that. But first, when you hear that clip from Capitol Hill to COVID to climate, with friends like this, considering what we're up against, no wonder we're on the verge of American Marxism.
And there's no question about it.
We're not on the verge of American Marxism. These people do not know what the hell Marxism is. Well, I will elaborate further.
We the people are going to have to take action ourselves. We cannot rely on the Liz Cheneys, the Romneys, or the others of the world. They're like out of the night.
It never stopped them. Never stopped them. But anyway, let's go on.
Liz Cheneys, the Romneys, or the others of the world. They're like out of the 1950s Republican Party. They don't understand what's swirling around our country today.
Okay. The 1950s Republican Party was actually strongly for civil rights. Not so much today in the year 2021. Remember, there was a Southern strategy in the late 60s and early 70s that took many conservative Jim Crow Democrats from the South, and they now vote solidly Republican today. So yeah, Mark Levin's right about the 1950s Republicans. I just wish that today's Republicans were like 1950s Republicans. Even then, Republicans were kind of pro-union. It's one of the most anti-union entities out there. Democrats are not that pro-union today, in my opinion. But if it was up to people like Mark Levin, he would, by decree, in the tradition of General Augusto Pinochet, he would ban unions. If you don't believe me, just listen to his program at some point, and we'll eventually talk about how much he hates unions, and you could read between the lines. That piece of crap would destroy unions and ban them if he could. Fuck Mark Levin. Let me go on further.
Joe Biden and his party are playing for keeps. They're trying to destroy our voting system. Have you noticed, Pete, that they never show us all these voters who've been denied the right to vote? Or all these.
We're talking about places like Georgia that wants to go and make sure that someone like Stacey Abrams would never become governor. Now, don't get me wrong. I don't like Stacey Abrams either, but I don't like her because she's too much like a Republican. But to them, they look at Stacey Abrams, they're like, oh, she's a godless socialist. Anyway, let me go further.
Lawsuit brought under the Voting Rights Act of 1965, where you have a cause of action if somebody has prevented you from voting because of your race or sex, or what have you. Have you noticed all the cameras from CNN and NBC and ABC in these communities showing us all the people who have been denied the right to vote? This is a big lie, and the Democrats work off big lies all the time. The fact of the matter is we want as many people to vote as possible if you're allowed to vote.
Okay. Here's where he's 50% correct. He's 50% correct about the Democrats, but that same logic applies to the Republicans. This is why we don't have multiple parties elected into the House and into the Senate and the state governorships and all of that. Third parties are by default banned by both the Democrats and Republicans. And let me tell you, I'm sure Mark Levin is probably okay with me not having a viable Labor Party to vote for in the United States, something that we are in great need of. But I digress. Let me go on further. Listen to this pile of garbage run his mouth.
The rule isn't everybody votes, anybody votes, whenever they want to vote, wherever they vote. That's not the rule. That's never been a rule. That's chaos. That's anarchy. That's California. We don't want to Californianize the rest of the country.
We don't want to make the country like Mississippi either, but because of policies like Mark Levin, America's one giant Mississippi. Nothing against progressive people that lives in Mississippi, by the way.
The Democrat Party is about the Democrat Party, not the country.
Yeah, and the Republican Party is about the Republican Party. And Mark Levin supports everything that's horrible about the Republican Party. He supports it to its fullest. Well, I mean, Wolf Blitzer supports every horrible policy of the Democrats too. But my point is that You know, he's acting like he's in favor of what is best for America. He is not. He's in favor of what's best for Republicans. I mean, and not just Republican versus Democrat. He has hostility toward traditional Republicans who are on the paleoconservative camp because, with all their faults, at least they oppose war, and he is also opposed to libertarianism because they oppose war and on some social issues like marijuana legalization or LGBTQ equality. Libertarians are a stop clock given the right time twice a day. I don't mind libertarians as an ally occasionally. Certainly not on healthcare and union issues and other issues on economics, but on social issues and on issues dealing with foreign policy, libertarians ain't that bad. But here's the thing: the Republican Party's been allowed to shift so far to the right that hold tight here, and let me get back to that. Okay, that the Democratic Party, I mean, Republican Party, allowed to shift so far to the right that today's Republican Party are just absolutely bonkers, and the Republican Party of the Eisenhower era would almost look like Bernie Sanders socialists today. I mean, when they call Obama a socialist, I'm like, Dwight Eisenhower was a socialist next to Obama, and that is the damn truth. But anyhow, I just wanted to test this StreamYard to see how it works, and feel free to comment today on this, and I hope it works. And I'm going to try to perfect it and make it better. But as I said, hit like if you like this video, and comment any way if you hated this video. We'll have a conversation. Feel free to share the content on this channel. As a First Amendment absolutist, it's my duty to inform you to create your own platform and utilize it because we are the muckrakers of our time. What else can I say? Yeah, feel free to hit the subscribe and notification bell. And once again, I am American Social Democracy. Peace. Class struggle yesterday, class struggle today, class struggle tomorrow, and class struggle until we achieve full economic and social justice for all.